Everyone, and welcome to the Week 4 review and Week 5 preview. As always, I'm the Commissioner, aka the Champion, aka Buzzsaw, aka Mr. Undefeated. It continues. Joel Gibson, thank you for joining us as always.
It's all right to be here.
That was a horribly timed sip right there. That was a horribly timed sip.
Yep. But it's all right to be here.
All right, I'm glad to hear it. Let's just get right into it here. We've got the number 12 at the number 1, Mr. Modest, the champs matchup. Joel Gibson, at the beginning of the week, I said there was no chance Adam was going to win this matchup. And by gum, I won. Now, I will credit Adam for putting up a good contest. It was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. I had quite a few injuries. But Adam still has, Chris Dunn on his team. And if you're going to house players that aren't going to play, his rookies really aren't playing, that's basically what made it up again. I really think this is another week where I was injured, had somebody cycled, they had a real shot at winning. That being said, I take care of business and move to 4-0. Joel, I know you love that.
Hate it. But I do hope I'm the one to knock you off your pedestal.
Wow. We'll see how it goes.
Question for you, big fella.
Okay.
Did Colin Sexton's 18 points make you nervous tonight?
It didn't. It did raise his average for the season to a whopping 11.3. So, yeah, moving up towards that 16.5, I think it is that you said. He is moving right on up there. Adam moves to 0-4. Yikes, sorry, Adam. But I think Adam's team could be a little bit better with some tweaking. He didn't have Greek, I think, for a game this week. He chose not to play Fox on Monday. He was healthy. That could have been a change to the matchup. There were a lot of things that could have went negative for me, and they didn't. So 4-0. Joel, I don't remember the last time I lost a game. I mean, it's been a hell of a long time.
Yeah, wait. Yes.
Next matchup was the matchup of the week. It was CJ at Steven, and Steven was hot on the wire this week. He was dropping money just like you and I predicted. When these two play, fireworks happen. Now, Steven wins, obviously, and also moves to 4-0. Only other undefeated team. CJ moves to 1-3. Joel, is it panic button time for CJ? Is it time to hit that red button?
It's too early to say. He's got a lot of talent on his team. I don't know. Our guy does like to pull the trigger.
He does, and I have to continually apologize to Steven for starting him out so low. He was ranked number 3 last week, and he's only one of 2 undefeated teams. So guess what he's going to be this coming week? Number 2. He's been on a huge skyrocket. Shout out to Steven, just getting it done, and we'll see how next week goes.
That we will.
Next matchup is Joel, 2-1 at 0-3 Matthew. Now, there are 2 teams that don't have a win, and Matt is one of those 2 teams. Joel Gibson, I know you were getting nervous at least yesterday, maybe even Friday, with those injuries and stuff. But at the end of the day, your team turned it on.
It's true. There's nothing Matt could do.
No.
He sucked. He's 0-4. He doesn't suck, but maybe a little bit. He had a player advantage all the way up until today, which definitely made it closer than I would have liked. And I had injuries to Kyrie, Zion, Cam Johnson, Markel Fultz. Can't remember who else sat. But a lot of people fucking sat games this week, and it was unfortunate. But we're back. We're back. It wasn't enough to hold us down. I'm hoping that everyone's just getting right so that we can take on a serious challenge next week.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I do want to know, I want to go back and look at these videos, and I just, when we get to your matchup, and you're like, yeah, I miss games from blah, blah. I want to know how many times it started out with Kyrie and Zion, because it has to be an absolute fuck ton where you at least mention one of them. I miss games from Zion. I miss games from Kyrie. I miss games from Zion and Kyrie. I want to know the number.
Zion of the season. Everything's fine over here, mister.
I mean, yeah, 3-1 for Joel Gibson, and like I said, Matt, 0-4. Yikes. Now the next matchup is number 2 Phil at Doug, who is number 11. Doug with the huge upset, the absolute huge upset. And you want to know why the upset happens? We need to follow the rules, Joel Gibson. Sometimes, if you don't follow the rules, you will lose a matchup, and I'm not playing games. I'm not playing games. I'm telling you, I'm looking. Your opponents are looking. They are waiting for somebody to play an illegal lineup because they just want to sound the alarm and whoop whoop and everything like this. You know, it's kind of funny to me that Phil was still able to get 4.5 categories with an entire full boat day removed. Wednesday, it was an entire full boat, and he had them all removed and still got 4.5 categories. So shout out to Phil. But cost him the undefeated season. Phil moves to 3-1. Doug gets that crucial first win on his road to victory. He's at 1-3.
Yeah, it's a good win for Doug. Unexpected, to be sure. But, yeah, a good win for Doug.
That's it. Also, I did want to shout out, did you see Doug's message in the messenger calling you out saying that you had to cycle against him last week when he was 4 men down, and he was just he attacked you. It was vicious.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it, but I'll have to go back and take a gander.
Yeah.
But I was missing people to injuries last week. And you still took the loss, my friend.
Next matchup might be an upset here. I consider it an upset. Cody, number 5, 2-1, losing to number 6, Neiman, who's also 2-1. That East is scary, man. I have no idea who's coming out of there, what's going on, whose team's good, whose team's not, because Neiman beating Cody, obviously Doug beating Phil. Well, there was, Phil losing the stats and stuff. You guys are just beating up on each other. Nobody is coming out of there clean, that's for sure. Shout out to Neiman. His team was incredible today. I was looking at his stat line. I was like, now this is the team that was the 1 seed last year. If he can continue to do that, he makes for an interesting little middle of the pack guy.
Yeah, I mean, he's got talent on his team. I sure didn't see Santi Aldama blowing up today, but that's what happened.
Yeah. He's been housing him for a while.
Yeah, and I was thinking unnecessarily, but maybe we were wrong.
For games like this, he's just been holding them and waiting. And I think that might be what Adam's holding on to Chris Dunn for. Just waiting for him to totally blow up. It's coming.
Yeah, I heard he might be really good back in the 2019 draft.
Yeah. It was a little bit, yeah, and he was great last year when they literally had no other options, I guess. But he's getting 2 minutes a game. I'm probably just going to let that go. It was triple overtime today, I think, in that game, and I think he played 2 minutes.
That's tough.
Tough. Last matchup, Kyle beats Jake. And just like I said last week when Kyle won, okay.
Wow. Is this a clean 13-0?
I think it's a 12.5. 12.5. I think he got half a category, if I'm not mistaken.
Kyle does have a trip, and he has less turnovers at this point. Right now, it is a 13-0 victory.
Yikes. A full clean sweep. How often have we seen that? I can't remember that happening very often, if ever.
And I mean, I would have never put my money on Kyle being the one to make it happen.
The only person that would have been more surprising for it to happen for would have been Matt. Like that. Oh my goodness. So yeah, shout out to Kyle. He moved. Oh, Cody moves to 2-2. Neiman is at 3-1. And Jake, poor Jake, 1-3. Kyle moves to 2-2. So a little bit more interesting. Yeah, I don't really have a lot about that one. Like I said, I think the bottom of the West is kind of... It's weaker than the bottom of the East. That's all I'll say. So, like, these matchups don't really excite me, and I don't think it's going to change too much, especially with my rankings. But outside of that, Joel, anything about this week that you'd like to point out?
I was thinking a little bit about, was it Cody that dealt Bradley Beal this offseason to Kyle?
I believe so, yeah.
That one's got to piss you off if you're Kyle.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just a lot. Just a lot. That's a bummer. We don't know what's going on there. I do want to say shout out to Steven one more time for, like, taking Cody's ads all week. Like, all week, you just had Steven dropping huge money, and then Cody in the messenger was just like, fuck you, Steven. Like, the whole week. Every day, it seemed like Steven was just, like, swatting Cody away. Just like, no, you can't have that ad. Oh, that was...
Or Joe, what's his name?
That was so funny, and it's also... It may have cost them the matchup. We don't know. I didn't go through and do the math. That would have been like absolutely nuts to figure out who he would have added if he could have, and if it would have been enough to beat Neiman. But just for the dramatic effect, I'm gonna say it would have mattered. So congratulations, Steven, for literally just taking Cody's candy all week. That's it for this week. Next week. Well played. Next week, now, like I was saying about this last week, there were like one or two matchups that were interesting. This coming week, I am far more interested in this slate of games. There are quite a few games that I'm definitely going to be watching very closely. The first one that I'll be watching the closest is the Champs matchup. The Battle of the Undefeateds, the last Battle of the Undefeateds. Steven, number 2, at 4-0, at Mr. Modest, also 4-0, number 1, the reigning champ, can't remember the last time he's lost a game, a.k.a. Mr. Undefeated, the champ, Buzzsaw. Joel, who are you picking?
Oh, man, I want to pick Steven so bad. I want it so bad. But I am going to pick you, unfortunately.
Woo!
Steven, I hope he hits that waiver wire hard, and I hope he hits you right between the eyes, motherfucker.
I am also going to pick myself. Now, I don't have the Flaming Tomato Herder. I imagine he doesn't play tomorrow. I am playing man down with Simmons. I've been playing man down for the first 4 weeks, so I will also be on the wire. So, Steven, get ready to spend all that money, because here I come in like a wrecking ball. I'm Miley Cyrus at you right now, Steven. I'm picking myself. I'm winning this matchup. I'm coming out of the West 5-0. And I still won't remember the last time I lost. Next matchup is Cody at Joel. Joel, you are number 4. Cody down to number 6. Joel, yeah, I know. Joel 3-1. Cody 2-2. Joel, what are you thinking on this one? Because if you're as injured as you were this week, I don't think you're getting it done against Cody.
Like I said earlier, we were just getting some rest in because we were waiting for a proper challenge, and that proper challenge is Cody. We're gonna clean things up, just beat Markel Fultz, and we're gonna fucking beat some ass this week. I'm gonna pick me. We're gonna give Cody a losing record.
Man, with that team too, like looking at it on paper, even if it's by one game at 2-3, I'd be like, I should probably be better than this. He would be a top team in the West if you're asking me. If that makes you feel better, I am going to pick Joel at home. I can't stand it. I want to pick Cody a lot. Probably a similar situation to you with Steven. It's just, I just don't see anybody on Cody's team that's going to wreck out at a triple-double. Not that he can't have one. I'm just saying I don't think it's going to happen this week. And if you're healthy, you're better in the categories that he's good in. I was kind of looking at you guys back and forth, and if you directly compare them. So assuming that you're healthy, I'm going to go you at home, and it pains me to do it.
Yeah, I'm obviously going to pick me, and I think Cody should hold on to Dwight Powell all week, hold on, hard, and just see if he can give you that triple-double this week. And if it doesn't work out, oh well.
You tried, right? I'll just be excited to see if Cody can add somebody that he wants this week. We'll see how that goes. Next matchup is Phil at Neiman. Both 3-1. I still have Phil in the 3 spot because it was kind of a fluke that he lost that. And theoretically, he should probably still be undefeated. But Neiman, the surprise team at number 5, just behind Joel Gibson. Right on your tail, Joel Gibson.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take Phil.
Yeah, I'm going to take Phil too.
Yeah. I believe that Phil's going to set his lineups correctly this week. And Neiman's team has been performing well. I'm going to need to see a little bit more before I'm saying he's back completely.
I agree. And that team's not to be trifled with.
Correct. Next matchup is number 8, CJ. Ouch. Let me say that again. Number 8, CJ, 1-3. Ouch. Against number 7, and this probably hurts more, Kyle at 2-2. Ouch. I think that CJ's going to win this matchup, and we won't have 3 weeks in a row of me just saying, okay.
I also think CJ's going to win this matchup. I don't think he has any major injuries right now. Unless you consider Kelly Oubre and Killian Hayes major injuries. CJ all year only going to have one IR spot as long as he holds on to Robert Williams, which I think he's going to end up having to drop at some point if he wants to competitively cycle. But that's my opinion. But I don't think he's going to have to do it this week. I think he's going to take it.
Yeah, and I have not read, is it this week that Scoot's back or no, next week? There's still another week on his injury, right?
That's a good question. Kyle, where are you? There you are. The report he would remain sidelined at least for 2 more weeks was on the 10th.
So yeah, he'll likely be through Thanksgiving. Okay. Either way, I'm still taking CJ. Next matchup is number 9, Doug. What a win against Phil can do for you if you're Doug. At number 12, Matt. Number 12, Matt. 0-4. Yikes. Last place. Uh-oh.
Ouch, Matthew.
Matt needs a win. Matt needs a win, if only for his own sanity, I feel like, at this point. Because he's had a rough few weeks, and starting 0-4, Jaw's going to be back soon, but he better get going. I mean, there's only 15 weeks in the season. Yes, 15 weeks. And he's already 0-4, so 11 games left. And he needs to win more than half of them. So I'm going to take Matt here. I think Doug's kind of too injured. But that being said, Doug put you up against the wall, even with a few injuries down. I'm just taking Matt at home. I think Matt will be saved by not having to deal with a triple-double from LaMelo. But man, it'll be close. It'll be interesting. I wouldn't know if Doug's going to cycle to keep the no-win of Matthew streak alive. Or are we just going to, see Doug ride it out and maybe at the end add someone? I don't know. But Matt needs a win.
I'm actually picking Doug. I think he's got droppable guys that he can cycle.
If he wants to. See, that's always my concern is Doug going to cycle? I don't know. I never know.
Yeah, that's a good question. But I think he's going to beat Matthew.
Man, 0-5. Swept in the division. Matt, do you remember when Matt was upset when I had him at 6? I was being generous. Steven's the one that should really be upset. He has done the complete opposite of what I was saying about him. The complete opposite. I was being generous. Last matchup is Jake 1-3 at Adam 0-4. I'm going to go out and say Adam wins this one at home, gets his first win. Poor Jake.
Poor Jake. I'm also going to pick Adam. But, he's going to have a great draft pick this year.
He's going to have a great draft pick. Let's hope it's a really good number 1. And no holes at all. Wemby's been great. I mean, Chet has been incredible. But he was 2, right? In his class? Who went 1 in his class? Cade, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, I'd still probably have Cade, but Chet has been very good.
I was wondering if Jake wishes he took the other Thompson the other day. I think Asar has been really good.
Yeah. I don't know. Poor Jake. Just poor Jake.
It's way too early to make that call. It's dynasty.
Yeah.
But they're twins. Theoretically, they should have relatively similar skill sets. So we'll see.
All right. Well, that's it. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. I'll probably have my turkey hat next week on. We'll see if I'm in the mood to celebrate. If I'm 5-0, you can bet your sweet ass I'm going to have a turkey hat on. I might put out a bowl of stuffing and eat it during the video. It'll be great. But if I lose, you won't get any of that. So tune in and see what happens.
I'll be here.
Excellent. Good luck, everybody, and we'll talk to you later. See ya.
Yeah.